Hey, welcome back to Dave Northwest. She uses math and science to create works of art. So what is the meaning behind the numbers? We're here to explain. Please welcome artist Sienna Morris. Nice to have you here, Sienna.
Thank you.
All right, numerism is what it's called. You use, but explain to us just how this works.
Well, I draw them by hand with entirely with numbers or formulas. It's very similar to pointillism, where they draw with dots. Just numbers instead, so numberism.
And do you use random numbers, or does each number mean something?
They've always meant something. I always fall over people. This one is where I started. This is basically my most well-lived moment that I was 100% there for. I was grateful while it was happening. It's when my husband reunited after a year of being separated. He was in China, and I wanted to use it as an icon to try to remind myself to live every moment of my life the same way, to be present.
And as I look at it, it's
Wow,
beautiful.
it is beautiful.
This does obviously tell a story, but as we look, it's all numbers, as you mentioned. So the numbers, what, in the order, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, or 4, 10, 11? I mean, the order of the numbers means something?
Yeah. This is drawn entirely with the numbers of the clock, 1 through 12, to represent time in this moment. We live life four-dimensionally with the 3 dimensions of space and the 4th dimension of time. So this is a moment in its entirety. And you see the moment come in and go out.
Oh, yeah.
This is the moment in transition. And for me, when I see wonderful moments like these, like a moment reunited, I have another one of a woman reading under a tree. When I see those passing, it reminds me to appreciate what's going on right now.
Let's take a look at some of the pictures of some of your works of art, and you can tell us what we're seeing. So tell us about this one.
This one is bioluminescence. This is actually one of my pieces for my math and science series. So the idea is to look at the beautiful world around us with the information that actually makes it function. So the firefly's abdomens are drawn with a chemical formula for luciferin, which when the fireflies combine that with oxygen and magnesium, it creates their bioluminescence.
Wow, there's a lot of thought into this.
It's like Spock with a paintbrush.
Thank you.
But are you using a pen or a pen? I mean, what are you using? Yes.
These are scratchboard etchings, so I use an X-Acto blade to etch the numbers off.
Wow.
I do work under a magnifying glass when I draw. This is my favorite piece.
Why is that?
This is drawn with the math behind the beauty of playing a cello. So you have, my husband made this video, tab. Those strings are drawn with the hertz frequencies of every note lined up to finger placement. So if you push your finger there and if you were to play it, that is a frequency in hertz that you would hear ring out.
Wow.
This is absolutely amazing. And when you say you use a magnifying glass, and I've asked this before, but I'm just not as smart as the average guy. When you place the numbers, does the number that you're placing mean something, or is it the series of numbers together?
It's placed, the placement matters.
If I see a 2, that wasn't randomly placed there. The 2 is there for a reason.
Well, so you're looking at the prime directive right now.
Okay.
So this one is linear. It's upside down there.
Yeah, well, I
So
could
this
tell
is
that by
a
the
Star
numbers.
Trek communicator from the next generation, because I'm a big geek. And it's drawn in ascending, non-repeating prime numbers for the prime directive. But it starts here with 2, and it goes
She
all.
looks at you like you got it.
I'm totally digging this art. I want to understand it because the way you use the numbers, it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
So here, let me give you an idea of why I do this, and this might make more sense. So I'm self-taught in science and math and art. And what I will do is I will study something like the chemistry for the fireflies, and then once I have a fairly good understanding, I'm basically drawing the data where it lives, where we know it and love it in everyday life. So it takes abstract data and places it into the real world, so it bridges the gap for me especially, because I'm not actually really a mathematical person. It bridges the gap so I have a full understanding of the material. So this is where math lives.
So do the numbers come first or the images come first?
It goes back and forth.
Back and forth.
Yeah.
When you look at it, and what I think is so beautiful about this, among a lot of things, is the way you've melded math or science and art, because we see them as 2 opposing almost points of view, really.
I think that's totally wrong.
But you brought them all together.
Yeah, well, honestly, people often tell me they're surprised that I do that. I'm surprised it's not more common. Science, math, and art, basically all of it is stemming from our desire to understand the world around us and to express our view of it. And it's all patterns.
Yeah.
Math and science is patterns, art is patterns. It just makes sense to bring them together.
When you look at it, for example, this one over here, when you look at it, do you see the image I see, or do you see numbers?
I see a story.
And what's the story?
Well, the math and science in this tells the story of how these things function. It's like knowing something, like knowing something's name. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This is actually an original. I'm working on this. This is a custom piece. Tracy Dorgan ordered this. I'm doing a little seg right here. Mm-hmm. For her husband, it's actually their anniversary today, so that's why I brought it up. So happy anniversary. So this, what I love about this is, we're fascinated with the heart and how it functions, and it's connected to our view of love and passion, and this gives us a finer understanding of how the muscle really works and why it's it's a reliable muscle. So this, can I tell you about a little bit about it?
Yeah, we're almost out of time, but very quick.
Okay, this is my favorite part. This is the sinoatrial node and the atrioventricular node. It's the pacemaker of the heart. This self-regulating system keeps the beat of the heart. This is the only one, I think, in our whole body that is a self-impulse. So this is really complicated stuff, but to go over really fast. But this wonderfully mechanical, reliable device inside our hearts regulates our entire lives. And the really cool thing about it is the brilliant people, scientists, mathematicians, have taken enough time out of their lives to understand it so that we have this reliability to be able to study the heart and solve problems with the heart.
Yeah.
I'm rushing with this.
Well, no, that's all right.
It's incredible.
I wish we had more time to go over this, because it's beautiful, and it's causing us all to look at art differently.
And
it's wonderful.
Thank
you very much.
You can inspire others because you have an art show coming up. It's on Friday from 6 to 11 at Sweetwater Farm, which is on Northwest Everett Street. We're going to put the information for you on our website at KATU.com.
Thank you very much for coming in. We really appreciate it.
Fascinating stuff.
It is fascinating. All right.